Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for a marquee promo to bring back the real hype to FC25 content, and Winter Wildcards is exactly that. Our foot mist replacement Christmas holiday themed promo that we have known for years of past has carried a reputation for delivering very good content across all parts of the games, cards and packs, SBCs, and especially last year, evolutions. Today, I want to get you guys ready for this big promo. Even though it's not here until Friday, the market's already moving and there's a lot that's going to be going on. It's kind of like Black Friday happens all over again. So there is a lot to discuss today, guys. If you're excited for Winter Wildcards and hopefully some better content on this game, drop a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you're new. Now, before we get into all that, let's take a look through yesterday's Globetrotters content on a Sunday. Kind of a Sunday sadness, to be honest, because we did not have that icon player pick that a lot of us, at least I was hoping for. That would have been the content that we wanted, right? But instead, we had an 86 plus base hero player pick. To be honest, what does this do instead of just being a regular base hero player pick? Well, let me tell you, it takes out a grand total of 9 85 rated heroes that really you don't want to pack anyway. This SBC is only 114,000 coins, but it's 114,000 coins in 83, 85, an 86 rated squad of fodder that I don't want to turn in from my club personally. Now, are people doing this? Yeah, it's fun to do. I understand if you want to do it because there's not a whole lot else to do on the game at the moment. I think the smarter play right now would be to stock up on that fodder, to save that fodder, and maybe you're not even opening too many packs because of Winter Wildcards that is upcoming. But it's obvious that some people wanted to do this SBC because if you take a look at 86s, they actually went up yesterday. They were about 6.5k at squad battle rewards. They went up to about 7,500 coins, where most of them are right now, right around that 7.4, 7.5k range. So that tells me people are doing the 86 plus hero player pick, but honestly, it's one that I think I would stay away from. Now, the other SBCs that we had yesterday were just one of them, a player SBC actually for Debinya. And to be completely honest, this Debinya SBC, once I saw the price of it, I went straight into the Mahrez and completed Mahrez because for me, this card still looks fun, 5-star, 5-star, and the links there, whatever, but I don't know, man. It really not that good of a card in terms of the shooting and in terms of the pace. She does have, of course, good playstyles as well. They didn't add any, though. Like with Mahrez, they added Incisive, they added Tiki Taka, and Whipped Pass. I believe for her, either they added Acrobatic or they didn't add anything from her base gold card. So, again, the price in this SBC is a problem, too. If they would have dropped this SBC for like 75, 80, maybe 100,000 coins maximum like Mahrez, then maybe you would be going and trying it out just for fun. But to be honest, for that price of 190,000 coins, I really just think that it is too much. Now, of course, moving right along, we did have an Evo yesterday because, of course, that's the whole point, right? Daily Evos, EA told us. And we have another one of these Evos that's not bad, but it's not wowing. It's not amazing. The Aerial Dominance Evo was the new one from yesterday. It gives Power Header Plus. It does give Aerial, which is kind of nice. Aerial playstyle, of course, we were talking about this on the stream yesterday. They give out this Evo after they nerf headers, right? So Aerial and maybe Power Header are a little bit less useful right now unless you can get open for a header, right? But the stat boost that you get inside of this aren't too bad, and it's creating some pretty crazy chain Evos. And that's, once again, with this Evo, it's one of those that I look at and say, yes, you can use it in a chain. I like that for bringing a lower rated player up to a pretty meta player in the game, or you can apply it to a card who maybe already has a playstyle if you don't want the Power Header Plus and put Aerial and then get some stat boost in some pretty key areas. Composure plus 10, stamina, strength, balance, heading accuracy. Not a bad Evo in terms of the stats that it gives. I'm glad that it's free and it doesn't take that many games to get done either. Actually, it only takes, is that only 5 games? That's really nice. Only 5 games to get that one done. Now, you may have seen some popularity with the Evos for Endrick, because with the 4 Evos that have been released recently on this game, if you put Endrick into a specific order of all 4 of those Evos, he comes out looking like this. The Aerial Dominance first, Acrobatic Star, Rising Phenom, and Attacking Apprentice is what he comes out with. Now, honestly, you can also get this Evo done by putting him into the Press Proven Plus, Playstyle Plus Evo, the cosmetic one. If you have that unlocked, you could put him into that first, get him Press Proven Plus, and then run him through these, and then you wouldn't have Power Header Plus. But Endrick's gold card on the market right now because of this one and then a couple other of the evos that people are doing with his card at the moment. There's a whole bunch of chains with all of the evos that are alive. People are very, very hyped for the Endrick combinations right now. He is actually extinct at 10,000 coins on this game. Now, again, the issue with this version of Endrick is if you take a look at the actual stats here, you're still not getting any boost to the reactions. 77 reactions, I believe, is the same stat that his gold card has. That's a big miss if you're trying to evo a card and make them feel as good as possible in game. Now, if it's just for fun, if you're a Madrid fan, absolutely go ahead and go and do this. I was thinking about doing I still have the Power Shot Plus Ultimate Edition Evolution, so I was thinking about maybe putting that in with the Endrick card, but I'm still saving this one for the right combination. I haven't really figured that one out yet for me personally, but there's so many combinations right now with all of these evos that are out. Like if you go to the popular evo page on Futbin, it's just there's players everywhere, especially the Acrobatic Star one that came out. I think that was the one on Saturday, right? There's some double combinations you can do here with Van de Ven. You get him up to 90 pace, you boost up his defense and his physical, you get +5 physical, +1 dribbling, plus 20, I'm not quite 20, but like plus, what is that, 16, +16 or 17 shooting, which is kind of unnecessary, but you know, you can get that. You can get yourself a better Van de Ven version through doing some evo combinations here too. They're good evos, they're just not crazy. I think that's what we're going to see with Winter Wildcards though, is really crazy evos that kind of push the power curve. So again, we look for the daily evos. We continue to watch and see what is EA going to do with those. We're still waiting on a couple of key evos we've talked about that we haven't seen yet in terms of the types of evos. But that was all the content yesterday on a Sunday. Really unfortunate we didn't get the icon player pick, but again, like I said, we had better content ideas than EA. Maybe EA saving that good content for Winter Wildcards. Now, before we talk about Winter Wildcards, let's talk about these Globetrotters cards that are in packs. I know a lot of people want to trade with these. They want to buy these. Their prices are down. If you look overall, I mean, your prices have dropped on these a considerable amount from where they were on Saturday. But also, some of them have rebounded back up a little bit after squad battle rewards. Like you see here with Diaz, he was 330, went down to 240, back up to 280, and then he's kind of been between 250 and 270 for the rest of the day. But heading into today on Monday, I'm really curious about this team and the market as a whole. Like, I do expect some of these to rise back up again today, but at the same time, the cards didn't drop very much late Sunday night, which is a movement that we normally see with Impact's promo cards because people are selling them off from their weekend league teams. Usually you see some drops there and then you see some rebounds into Monday. We really haven't seen that with a lot of these Globetrotter cards. They're still at the same price they were or maybe even up higher in price. Like this Ousmane Dembele was 1.1 million coins at squad battle rewards. Now he's right around 1.2. So his price has gone up. So that really makes me interested. I don't know if I'm going to send a lot of coins into these cards. And once again, as we're going to talk about today, we're still in a market that is falling in terms of value. A lot of player prices are just continually dropping. Could that end today and a couple of prices go back up for maybe a few days into this week before we get to Winter Wildcards and panic selling for that and the continuation of the market crash that we're kind of in towards Winter Wildcards? Yes, but at the moment, it feels like a 50-50 chance. We could see a little bit of a market rise today, or it could go down as people are, talking and thinking about getting out of cards from their club ahead of the big promo that is to come. So it's kind of a 50-50 for me today. I'm not going to put a ton of coins into these cards personally. I'm just going to be playing it a little bit safe. But definitely watch. If you're in the market for some quick flips and some trades and trying to make a quick buck before the end of this week, these are going to be cards that will fluctuate really good. People want to try them. They're fluctuating even yesterday. If you take a look at Douglas Luiz, he's 130,000 coins right now. At squad battle rewards, he was 111, went all the way to 140, back down to 120. He's back up, kind of trending towards going back to 140. We'll see if he gets all the way there. We'll see what today's market brings. Now, before we talk about the market too much, let's get into the main topic of today's video, guys. Winter freaking Wildcards, because this is a promo that has kind of got a reputation now in the past few years. I was just checking to see if there's a card design added into the game yet. There is unfortunately not. But this promo, I think we're actually in the third rendition of this promo now, because it started in FIFA 22, and now we have had it for the past 4 years, 22, 23, 24, now the fourth time for 25. And it all started with this replacing Footmiss. If you guys remember Footmiss back in the day, if you played, that was kind of the epitome of winter content. It was insane SBCs, great packs. It wasn't even about the players in packs. It was about the SBC players, right? And winter wildcards kind of carried that tradition forward, but it also created a in packs push for a lot of the cards as well. Of course, that's the way EA like to go with things. But let's talk about winter wildcards, guys, and kind of what it is. If you haven't played it before, if you don't know what it is, or just a good catch-up reminder of what this is, it says celebrate the holidays with 2 weeks of football festivities. I think last year there were actually 3 teams. Guys, it's kind of a long promo, but it's one of those that's like, it's okay that it's long because the content is that good, right? You see here they say that it is a seasonal and festive celebration of Ultimate Team, past, present, and future. Surprises and upgrades of all kinds await, from nostalgic rating boosts to fresh playstyle changes and Winter Wildcards icons. This year we're getting Winter Wildcards icons and heroes, not just icons. So that's kind of the stuff that's in packs there. We'll look at the teams in a second. There's also a best of. I think they did the best of for the first time. It was either last year or they did it as well in FIFA 23. But similar to Black Friday, we will have some old promo cards re-released in packs, maybe some Centurions, maybe some of the Track Stars, probably some of the Thunderstrucks. Last year during Winter Wildcards, we actually had Thunderstrucks re-released in packs, which of course, a lot of those cards are still pretty expensive at the moment. If you actually, we can talk about this straight off the bat. This is what the re-release was last year. You had some informs like Haaland and Mbappe. Then you had some lower tier cards in there, some triple threat, Grealish, Karchawi, and Gallagher. You had some radioactive, Conte and Valverde. And then you had, honestly, a nice set of Thunderstrucks, Diani, Vinny Jr., Davies, Bremer, Jolinton, right? And a couple of informs at the bottom there with Teo and Frimpong. So it's not near as big as the best of re-release that was dropped during Black Friday, right? It's not like, well, at least it wasn't last year, like the whole 100 plus special cards and packs at the same time. And I probably wouldn't imagine it would be that crazy this year as well. But they seem to do things bigger and better with the cards re-released in packs. So maybe this year there would be more like 40 or 50 players. We'll just have to see. But again, that's a risk that we run heading into this promo. And one of the reasons why people start selling their cards off from their teams is because they could get re-released. Now, that sort of re-released pack content right there kind of makes it feel like Black Friday. And I've already mentioned that a few times, right? That's one of the best ways to kind of reference this Winter Wildcards promo, especially from what we just came from with Black Friday, is it's on that level of content. That is why it is really hype. It comes with the SBCs, the EVOs, the cards that are in packs and all of that. That's kind of the level that we are getting to. And again, like I mentioned, these are the official card designs for what will be coming this year during Winter Wildcards. We got the icon, the Winter Wildcards regular player, and then the Winter Wildcards hero. Again, it's actually kind of difficult to tell the hero apart from the regular card. You just have to look at the top of the card for the little hero symbol with the football with like the crown on top of it. Then, of course, the icon. I think the icon out of all of these looks the best. But again, guys, this is leaked to be coming this Friday. That's why we're talking about it now, getting ahead and starting to prepare and plan for it. We've already been mentioning Winter Wildcards, right? But that's the plan. This Friday is Winter Wildcards. There's probably going to be a whole lot of news and leaks and info as we head into the rest of this week. But those are your official card designs. Now, as I mentioned, this promo has kind of been based upon daily SBCs in the past, and that's what Footmas of old was based around. That's continued basically every single year. Last year, it continued, and EA actually gave us, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, they gave us a schedule of all of the SBCs that were going to be coming out during the whole period of Winter Wildcards. And this was, it felt like last year that it was kind of a dig on the leaks, right? Because we were getting leaks and everything was leaked ahead of time. We knew what was coming. That's kind of how still it is, right? But last year, EA was like, here you go. Here's all the SBCs during Black Friday. Here's what you can look for. They didn't give us the stats or the prices, but they just showed us the players and what version of the card was going to be released, even like the club or whatever. Like the Allison Becker card here, we all thought, oh, we're going to be getting a Prem goalkeeper SBC. This is going to be crazy. It's going to make all the goalkeepers drop. And then they dropped the Allison as a center mid position change. That was pretty wild, right? I remember this Martinelli SBC was crazy. The Ruud Hullet was expensive, but it was crazy. A lot of them were good SBCs. If we go and take a look back, I mean, we're talking about the player SBCs now, but the SBCs in general, even for the upgrade packs, there's a daily login. We had an 83 times 10 that was out during the whole duration of the Winter Wildcards promo, kind of like how we had the 8214 during Black Friday that was repeatable multiple times per day. That's kind of a staple of the big promos. Whenever there's a repeatable, good upgrade pack like that to just recycle fodder into and craft SBCs, that's when you know that it's kind of like one of those top tier promos. This is going to be one of those times again. Either we get the 83 times 10 this year or maybe the 82 times 14 like we had during Black Friday. You can see here though, the Martinelli had technical plus. He had a 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. I remember that I was interested in doing this card, but I ended up not doing it. I did the Hullet instead. And you can tell this Hullet was expensive out of the gates, but that's because last year, guys, fodder was so expensive on the top tier heading into Black Friday because we had a Player of the Month Mbappe that was released just before this, and fodder last year was way more expensive. This SBC this year honestly might be half the price for what Hullet was compared to what fodder is this year. It's crazy, but those are big names, right? We had a Cruyff SBC earlier this year, a Hullet here, we had a Martinelli. You go down the list and look at some more of the SBCs that we had, not even just with the players, but we had tradable Winter Wildcards daily packs, which are sick. We had a crafting SBC. Any promo with a crafting objective usually is a good one. I know this year we've had one crafting objective and it wasn't good. This one should slap. We had an 85 plus player pick. We had league upgrades. And then of course, a Kai Havertz. This Kai Havertz SBC ended up being maybe one of the staples of Winter Wildcards. If you guys remember this card, he ended up being one of the best left backs in the game, especially for the price. He look at this upvotes, 6,000 upvotes to 1,000 downvotes. I didn't do this SBC as a Spurs fan, but he was everywhere. And that's kind of what this promo delivers. It delivers some of those players that just end up being kind of like Ultimate Team legends for the year. This Balotelli with the Santa hat on. We're 2 years in a row now. Look out for one this year. We're 2 years in a row with a player with the dynamic of a Santa hat on them. We had Dimitri Payet in FIFA 23 and this Balotelli last year in FC 24. So watch for EA to do another one like that this year. So not all these SBCs were great. As we kind of look back on the calendar, the Mbabu I remember wasn't that good. The Ciro Immobile wasn't that crazy. And some of the icons weren't that crazy either. But it was daily SBC content. And a lot of them were pretty good because this is a power curve that does kind of push, or this is a promo that kind of does push the power curve for sure. So that's the hype with SBCs. Now, Evos, right? Evolutions, guys. Last year, kind of like Black Friday this year, but last year during this promo of Winter Wildcards, Evolutions went bananas. This is the one that really went crazy. The Pep's Legacy Evo. I don't know if you guys remember this one. The David Alaba and the Joao Cancelo were probably two of the most popular cards to come out of this. But the chains that you could make during Winter Wildcards was literally unreal, guys. Like, these cards were almost better, and even some of them were better than the cards that were in packs for promo versions. Even David Alaba had a promo card for Winter Wildcards last year, and I believe that one or two of his Evos was better than the promo card that he had. It was insane, man. The Evos last year during Winter Wildcards, yeah, there's the Alaba. The Evos last year went crazy. I remember talking about how a new Evo would come out and it would crash the market, like between, what was it, like a week before Christmas and then even into January. There were new Evos that were coming out, and they weren't just like the Evos that we've had recently. They were like Evos that gave huge stat boost. They fit a lot of meta popular players. It felt like, remember when the Dino Magic Evo dropped and we were like, oh shoot, this is paid, but it creates some really nuts cards. It was an Evo like that once every couple of days. It was really, really crazy. And I know that nostalgia is a big thing with this promo, so, you know, not all the Evos were crazy, but a lot of them were really, really good. And his Pep's Legacy, I'm sure if you played the game last year, you remember this one. This was also the Evo, by the way, where there were glitches where people figured out for the first time how to do double playstyle plus evolutions. This Cancelo was one of the players that you could get 2 playstyle pluses on before Team of the Years even came out. Probably not going to happen this year because last year was the first year for Evos, but I think this year as well, I mean, with the way EA did the Flash Evos during Black Friday, if they do anything sort of similar to that during Winter Wildcards, it could be another really good promo for the Evos, which is why when I heard about the daily evolutions for this promo, I think I mentioned this earlier, I was kind of shocked. EA's doing daily Evos for Globetrotters right before a big promo with hopefully more, maybe not daily, but insane Evos. So I have high expectations again this year because of how good the Evos were last year in FC 24. So that's kind of all the content that we're going to expect, right? A lot of SBCs. Again, if you think about what just happened in Black Friday, think about that sort of level of content coming again with the EVOs, with the SBCs, with the objectives, daily plays, all that sort of stuff. Like the good content that we crave is going to be coming back starting even maybe a little bit before this Friday. Sometimes EA will release things a day or two early. So with all of that coming, we got to turn it and spin it into the market now, guys, because we've been saying, and this is why we've been saying, to sell cards from your team, especially if there's something that you have been holding on to for a minute, or if you're really worried about the price dropping over the next 2 weeks, to get it out of your team, because price drops are coming. And price drops have been happening, but I think there's still more that isn't coming. Vinny Jr. is now under 600,000 coins for this card. What was Vinny Jr. at the after Black Friday period, even with his Player of the Month SBC coming out? Remember, he was like 700K during Black Friday. He rose up to 800K after Black Friday, right? 840K, that was his peak. And then especially even just last week, he has gone from 730,000 coins on Friday down to right now 580K. So this weekend, as we predicted earlier in the weekend, even on Thursday of this last weekend, we knew the market was going to drop, and that is exactly what has been happening. So if you got out ahead of time, GG's, but it's still going to go lower, right? If we take a look at Vinny's graph from last year, we're kind of in this drop right here, but we're only halfway down, or maybe just a little over halfway down. Last year, Vinny's gold card was 650,000 coins around this time of the same part of the year, and he crashed all the way down to right before Christmas to 400K. So from 640 all the way to 400,000 coins. By the same percentage, Vinny going from 720K. I'm not going to count this as his peak because he was out of packs. I'm going to count this as it. 720K. We still have a little bit further to drop on this Vinny. Vinny could be going under 500,000 coins by the time we get to Christmas, or right around there, which is usually when we see a low point for a lot of these cards. Not they're going to rebound that much, but I think Vinny still goes about 100K lower. I really think that he does. I think cards like Mbappe right now is still 2.5 million coins. I mean, this is a card that people bought for 2.1 during Black Friday, right? He was down here at 2.1, 2 mil. Flat was like his low price. Went all the way back to 2.5, 2.6. He's not even down that much. Like, yeah, sure, he was 2.5 and he's been slowly dropping, but this is a card that I still think goes down to 2 million flat or below. Like, Mbappe still has more room to drop for sure in terms of prices coming, or the movement for his price coming up in the promo leading up to Winter Wildcards. So I still think we're going to have the market drops this week, especially as we start to get the leaks, guys. That's the big thing, right? So some people right now have been playing, or maybe they've even logged off the game, or maybe you haven't been playing the game as consistently, and you got some tradable cards in your team. Once the leaks start going, that's when you're really going to start to see some more panic. It's going to impact the whole entire market too. The impacts promo cards, the out of packs promo cards, as we mentioned, some of them are going to get re-released. I think the stuff that I'm kind of the most worried for is some of these promo cards, and also the Thunderstrucks. I know that I'm the proud owner of a Marcus Rashford right now. I bought this card because he's getting an upgrade. He's getting the 2 play styles, which is the biggest hype upgrade for all these Thunderstruck cards. But especially this week, I would say if you have a Thunderstruck card that has already gotten upgraded, that's the key. Already gotten upgraded, has no more upgrades to play for. As you see with Koundé, look at him, man. He was 800K, now he's 720. He was even a little lower than that. He just bounced back up. Olise, of course, he dropped off a good amount. Guduraitin, she's down. Saliba, fully upgraded. He's only 1.68 million coins now. He was a lot more than this, even right when he got upgraded. I think these cards, not just because they have the potential to get re-released, but just because these are the cards that were the most hyped. They're really inflated because of the upgrades. Once the Winter Wildcards come out and kind of push the power curve as well, I think that those are going to be in for some of the biggest drops out of all the cards on the market right now. So I still think it's okay to trade a little bit this week because, like I mentioned, right now the market's in a 50-50 mode. We're kind of still slowly dropping. If you back up, take a big picture look at it, we're still going to be dropping. But I think there's still some opportunity to buy and sell. That's why I still have got some investments and some flips at the moment. So I wouldn't be afraid to do that. But just be careful, especially I think the leaks are one of the biggest things that I'm curious about. Now, we haven't talked about fodder yet, right? Fodder, we learned a little bit from Black Friday this year in terms of fodder. I'm still invested in some of these 89s that have been sitting on my transfer list for ages. I bought for way too much. Some of these have been in here since, like, I kid you not, they've been in here since October for some of these 91s that we thought were going to have the same movement as last year, and they didn't. I'm just holding on to them. Someday we'll sell them. I'm not worried about it. Yes, that's like 1 million coins of fodder on my transfer list. I don't care. But Fodder, in terms of what we saw on Black Friday, I think one of the same movements is going to happen again. If we have big leaks of big SBCs, sure, that could push Fodder up a little bit. But what we learned from Black Friday is when people are saving packs, especially this week, people are going to start saving packs for winter wildcards. And when all the packs get released in the store with the saved weekend league rewards, those tradable packs there, the tradable packs that are in the store anyways, what we saw on Black Friday, if you guys remember, was a big dip on the actual day and the day before Black Friday of the fodder because it all got packed and people were opening packs. And especially with the rewards packs this year, all giving 80 plus, or all the player picks 84 plus, 85 plus, some of the elite tier packs in like rank 1 rewards or rivals rewards elite division, 84 times 10s, 85 10s, 86 times 10 right now in rank 1 rewards. I think I would wait to invest in fodder, even if the leaks for SBCs, like let's say we get like a Bale winter wildcards gets leaked and he's going to be an SBC, right? You know, something outrageous like that. I probably still would not invest in fodder until we actually get to the start of the promo, because at the moment, like, we don't have the SBCs to make fodder really just take off. It's going to take those SBCs coming out to make the fodder move. But what I've learned this year with fodder is you don't want to mess with the supply. There's a reason why all of these prices are as low as they are. We haven't had stupid good SBCs. We don't have exchanges yet. And the supply for fodder, since the packs are bigger and better from rewards this year than ever and in the store, it's all, a lot of it's tradable too. So it's just getting supplied. That's bringing the supply on fodder up. So that means the prices are going down. So I don't think we're going to see 91 rated Kevin De Bruyne last year. Like, he was literally 70K around this time of winter wildcards. That's not going to happen this year. It's just a different year, different market, right? So I think we want to wait to invest in fodder. But if you take a look, this is what I was trying to get to. The graphs from last year, even last year, fodder dropped. 88s were 23K, went down into winter wildcards and dropped through it to 16K because everybody had fodder from all the upgrade packs, right? And all the packs that were being released. Same thing with 86s. They were like, 11 to 14K fluctuating down to a low point of during winter wildcards, 8K. And then they rose back up after that into February, into team of the year and stuff like that. So for fodder, I don't think I would be holding on to it either at the moment heading into the promo. Even if there's leaks, I think I would wait to invest in it until we actually get to the actual winter wildcards start. I keep saying Black Friday and winter wildcards interchangeably because they're going to feel like the same thing. They're just different promos. Now, that's kind of everything for winter wildcards. But the last thing I'll leave you with is watch for the leaks. Again, we have the official card designs. These leakers are going to have news and information. It's going to be popping soon. It's going to be a lot of hype. It's going to be a lot of panic selling. That's why we've been saying get out of cards ahead of time. Just get prepared for big names like Hullet last year, Martinelli this year. Again, that list of players that we had, there's big names that'll be in this promo. Some of them you might say, oh, they use the same players all the time. But there's a lot of football players in the world. There's going to be a lot of them this year that cook too. Again, we have the heroes this year. That's new. So I'm very excited for it. I really am, because Black Friday was one of the best times on this game just a couple of weeks ago. And before that, it was kind of the beginning of the game, right? I really hope that Winter Wildcards elevates the level of the hype of this game to that Black Friday level again. Now, let's end off today's video by looking at what's happening today, right? We talked about the market a little bit. I'm trading here and there, not crazy, but today is a Monday. I don't expect much today, guys. I really don't, except for the FC Pro Live. This is finally Group D. If you've been invested in one of these cards like Gabriel Jesus, maybe it's Weghorst, maybe it's Osimhen, finally today is your day where these guys get to play for the upgrades. And honestly, we say it every single week, but sell it in the hype. These are the Group D players today. We got Jesus, Weghorst, Tombakti, Osimhen, Gregerson, and Roussillon. I'm actually really rooting for Roussillon today because I have an Evo of him. I Evo'd his live card. If he gets upgraded, we could be getting some really, really nice boosts there. Sell in the hype, guys. You guys know the drill here, because most often these cards drop off anyway, as the pros maybe win some, maybe lose some, and there's just so many people that have invested, especially heading into winter wildcards and the state of the market that we're in right now. It would be in your best interest to sell in the hype. Like Weghorst is almost 20K because people are putting him into an evolution at the moment. He was like min price almost for a while, and he's been rising now slowly for a couple of weeks. I'm probably going to sell the one that I have for 20,000 coins. Weghorst I would sell too. Sure, there's some upside. If his pro goes undefeated and goes crazy today, he could go up, but I would probably still sell in the hype, guys. That is always the rule of thumb with these FC Pro lives today. So definitely watch out for that. And if you're somebody who likes to invest in cards that the pros are going to be using, Drogba was that guy for the last couple of weeks. But with this new patch, it's going to be really interesting to see what teams the pros play with today and how they play differently because of the power shots and the headers being nerfed in this last patch. That's one thing I'm really curious in myself. Now, other content to expect today. Mondays are player SBC or player upgrade SBC days, right? Like a repeatable upgrade pack. We've had the 81 double. I think maybe it's time for the 77 plus player pick to come back. The one of 3 77 plus picks that we had during Black Friday. If you think those are going to be coming, it might be wise to stock up on these daily gold upgrades. Make sure you get your daily bronze, silver, and golds done. These are only out for 5 more days. Capitalize on them while you can. Stock up your club with those commons and the one rare that you get. And, you know, that would be a really easy way to have your club stacked and ready if you want to build player picks for this promo, or if you want to save them for the next promo as well with Winter Wildcards. Hopefully that is returning today. Other than that, though, maybe a player SBC, right? We have a couple of leaks still out there, like the Ashley Young SBC is the main one. Then the other thing is our daily evos. We still expect a daily evolution to be dropped today. What would it be? We don't have high hopes. EA, we're still looking for an evolution that gives us the Globetrotters card design so we can actually boost chemistry, whether it's a cosmetic one or whether it's not. Just a regular evo that gives the Globetrotters chem. That is what we want, okay? It's been now, what, 3 days of us asking for it? Can we please get that, EA? That would be nice. But Daily Evo, Upgrade Pack SBC, and FC Pro Live, that's probably all we get today, guys. The one thing I will mention is I think today is the second week of this FC Pro objective. Season 3. So if you watch the stream today, you get a 50K pack, the Lone Palacios, and then an 84 times 5. That might be a good one to stash away for Winter Wildcards upcoming. So that's kind of all the news and info, chat. This is a YouTube video, not a live stream. Live streams, of course, you can click the link down in the description. Check us out there. We will be streaming today, but that's all the news and info about Winter Wildcards. Really, the point of the video today was to just start the conversation. We're going to talk more about it this week as we get news and leaks. There's different stuff about the promo every single year, but a lot of it is the same fundamentally year over year, which is why I wanted to talk about. It's a long promo. There's daily SBCs. We're expecting a lot of Evos, re-release cards, and just a lot of content. Black Friday-esque, but Christmas-themed around Winter Wildcards. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out at all, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys in the stream today. Links down below in the description once again. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Have a great Monday. Peace.